Hey team, welcome back to the channel. It's been a little while, been focused on our Discord group, focused on my trading, and focused on consistency. But I want to go over our trade this morning in our chat. We had OCEA. What a beautiful move this one had this morning, guys. My white candles are going to show that breakout volume. Yellow candles are the minimum required for me to take the trade. I mark these charts in our Discord every day, as you guys know. Our private Discord, we have a Mark Charts channel up in here. Click on that and you'll see that if we scroll up, you'll see OCEA was updated at 8:29 a.m. Eastern time. So let's take a look at what time that was. 8:29 was all the way back here at this time. So by this time in the market, we had already had this chart marked up and ready. We had all of these predetermined resistance levels, which, as you can see, as I scroll up, you'll see a lot more. And that's because I marked the chart for at least 100% of that move for our team. But we had this level, this key level here, 596 and 609. So of course, if you're trading our strategy here in chat with me that I trade every day live in voice, you guys will see, let me get this off the screen. You guys will see that in the BB Key Levels channel is another channel that I added for you guys to really save time in the market. So in this channel, you'll see a list of stocks and you'll see the key levels. So after I mark the chart on this chart here, OCEA, I then assess the gaps and I say, okay, well, where should we be looking for a possible trade? And I like to notify you guys as a team to so we can really be together and everyone can understand my thought process behind this. Because of course, this is for educational purposes. And I want to make sure that everyone is comfortable trading even by themselves if I'm not there to hold your hand, of course. So you trade what you see, I'll trade what I see. But the fact of the matter is I try to express my thoughts behind the trade, when I'm taking the trade and why I'm taking the trade. That way you guys are in full understanding. So we can see here OCEA at 8:34 a.m. Eastern time. I mentioned that it needed to close over 596 and 609. And we can see that today started here. So from 7 o'clock this morning Eastern time, we had 5 ideas posted. This one was just posted recently. So really for these 4 ideas in the pre-market session. So that's where my eyes are fixated. So what I do is I mark that chart, right? And I look for these key levels. And of course, this was that key level because I had that marked at 8:34 is where I got out that information of where it needed to close over. I also mentioned this in Benzinga chat as well. I'm trying to add value there the best I can in between trading and helping out our team, of course. But looking for that close over that 609 and 596 level, that's what we were looking for. That was so important to us. And as you can see, this candle that's circled here did close over that level, and it had a yellow candle, which is my BB volume indicator here in TradingView that notifies me, lets me know it's designed for the strategy. So I have the strategy is very specific. If I pull it up, you'll see again, this strategy is very specific and it goes over volume requirements. And we have very specific volume requirements for the pre-market and we have specific volume requirements for the regular market session as well. So I need to see that that's met. And this indicator here basically paints those candles whenever those conditions have been met. So that's one less thing that I really need to be searching for is that volume. So basically speaking, very simple here again, guys, very, very simple strategy. I need to see it close over these lines, this resistance with that yellow candle, letting me know that there's the minimum volume requirement has been met. Now, I don't care necessarily how much volume is there. I just want to make sure that it is liquid and that I can get in and out with any decent size. If I'm trading a smaller size, then typically this may not be as big of a concern with a lower volume move. But whenever I'm trading with larger size, I have to have that volume. And my number one personal rule is no volume, no trade. If I do take a trade with low volume, I have to understand that what I'm getting into, assess that, and really adjust my approach by lowering my size. So we have these levels above. So the idea here was to get in, get green, and get out, and then hold ourselves a lotto. And the reason for that is because we had this one as a plus strategy, I believe, this morning, or excuse me, a B plus strategy. So if I pull over one of our scans today, OCEA came on at 8:45. It was on before that as well, but it let us know that it had a B plus potential. So that meant that the algorithms were definitely going to be taking a look at this. And so I'd like to look at this as well and maybe ride that momentum a little bit. And what that also tells me typically is if it has a higher grade like that, being a B plus potential, then it tells me maybe I want to leave that lotto more so than if I saw a continuation scalp or maybe a C plus grade on that scan. And these are new scans that I have for our team, of course. So we had the close over that predetermined resistance, right? So that's where I entered into my trade. And I really made out well with this one. If we scroll into the chat, you guys will see I try to post all of my information here in the day trading chat as well. So if I start to scroll up in the chat, you'll see a whole bunch of messages and alerts and things like that. And we're just a team trying to help each other out. We have a really great team here working together. We've got traders who have been here for over 30 years trading, and we've got traders who've been trading for a week or two. So it really depends on if it fits if you're comfortable or not. So as you scroll down, of course, we've got the watch list each night posted. We've got some good mornings coming in here, but as we scroll down, we can see that, let's see, OCEA. OCEA was right. Scroll down. There's a lot of information in here. We go over a lot of different trades. We try to help each other out the best we can. Here it is, OCEA, so 8:29 a.m. Eastern time. So there it is. That's when I first updated the chart. We had the news, you can see right here, at 8:26 a.m. Eastern time. So we had news on at 8:26 a.m. Eastern time. Of course, that was in our breaking news channel as well. If you guys want to check that out, it's in our breaking news channel. But we had the news, we had the chart, and of course, then you see very soon after, right here in the key levels at 8:34 a.m., we're watching for a close over that 596 level and 609. So as you can see, if I scroll down, that's where I got in. And I was in live voice at this time, so you're not going to see that alert in here. It's hard for me to type and trade and talk all at the same time and mark charts and all that. I'm sure you guys can understand. But I was mentioning in the voice channel that we were getting in at that level. That's where I was getting into my trade. And it worked out. I got filled around 615, a little over the level that I was looking to get in, but that's okay. Again, it just has to close over that level. It basically tells me that level needs to close over if it's going to be bullish. And I'm looking for bullish momentum. Again, I'm looking for that gap up type of move. Got in my position here in OCEA, started scaling out 15%. As you scroll down, you'll see a number of alerts here. And in the end, we ended with a 30% trade on OCEA. Now, of course, I wouldn't hold my entire position into that trade, but what I would do is I'd be looking for scaling out, hold my lotto, and look for a bigger move, some icing on the cake. Mentioned that I was all out of my position right there, all out at 30% up. I was very happy with that profit. Yesterday, we had VCIG with 20%. Today, I had 30% on OCA. That's more than enough for me. So very happy with the gains made on this one. Again, it was in our breaking news channel very early right here. 8:26 a.m. OCEA had news. The news itself isn't really as important to me. What the news does is it draws attention, and me being a technical trader, I need volume. My number one, again, volume or number one rule is personal rule is no volume, no trading. So if I'm looking for this close over on OCEA, I'm looking for volume to pair with that. And you can see that it was a red flag that it had low volume, which is one of the major red flags that we look for. So knowing that condition, I would adjust my size. But you can also take a look at this chart. And when we look at this, it had that volume, that yellow candle, the breakout volume. If I hover over and look at the top here, it says it had 83,000 shares on that candle. So 83,000 shares. This is a 1-minute chart closing over our resistance. That tells me it's now bullish, and that's where I get into my trade. Now, if it closes back below that purple line or white line, that's where I bail on my trade and cut it and take it for a loss. But if it continues from there, I look at these levels above as targets. And again, we have all these predetermined before this move. So the red area up here circled, that's where I exited my position. You can see if I measure this move from here, it's about where I got in, about 30%, and that's exactly what I got on that lotto. Very happy with this gap getting filled. This was a very large gap. Once we entered into this gap here, we started to see a cluster of resistance. It wasn't nasty. We've got a couple smaller time frame levels in here, but I was very happy. Again, not going to be greedy. 30% is more than enough for me. Very happy knowing that this was a high quality alert from our teacher's pet scan, this pre-market session at 8:45 and before, and knowing that that I was going to find the setup that I was looking for. Another thing I'd like to point out on this one, guys, that's very important is this pink candle here, these magenta candles. That's the BB major red spotter. That's another indicator that I have on my chart pointing out those major red candles. So 4% negative or greater, that is a major red and something that I look to avoid or adjust if I see that before I get into the trade. As you can see, when I got into my trade here in OCEA, we didn't have any of those pink, magenta, whatever color you want to call it, candles, right? So we didn't have any major reds, and that's what's so important about this this setup. This is then telling me it is a high quality setup. So we've got the scanner telling us it's a B plus potential, which is really good. We also have the volume, of course, all over our scans this morning on the bullish momentum, letting us know that there was value here. And you can see that we had that volume stick, we had that that strong bullish momentum close over that predetermined level, and it held that level. Now, again, if I go over to Benzinga and I open this up, and if you go to the search, you can search all of my call outs here. But if we're looking for this one was OCEA. So we'll go to OCEA, click on that there, and same idea. If you just click on the OCEA, scroll up in this chat, you'll see that I mentioned this one earlier this morning in chat as well. Let me see. So OCEA was moving up this morning. Maybe I didn't call this one out. Just mentioned that I was watching it this morning, low volume. Usually I try to add the key levels in here too, but it looks like maybe I didn't do so. So I try to stay on top of that. Sometimes I miss out, but I try to make sure that our Discord is definitely getting the value that they deserve, as it's, of course, a paid membership. But guys, OCEA closed over its resistance here, 609, right? Back to the chart, closed over, held that level, never closed back below. Within 2-3 minutes, it hit its target right there. So shaving out, taking profit, protecting myself on the trade, making sure that I get some green in the pre-market session in these slower days. It was a pretty slow pre-market. And then we're looking for it to close over these predetermined levels to then hold these levels and continue. You can see that this level up here, this 721, got a little on the choppy side. And I don't like to see that myself, but it is understandable as it was already gapping up so much. But what we can see here as I turn off the volume indicator is that we had a red candle close back below, so bail on the trade. Now we're looking for a clean close over that predetermined resistance. And as I mentioned in live and voice, this close here had that topping tail, so it wasn't exactly clean, and it wasn't exactly the type of trade that I was looking for. This was the first bullish candle that closed over. Did have a topping tail, but it had a bottom wick as well, and a pretty bullish engulfing candle, a very strong green candle closing over that resistance of 721. You can see it then pulled back, held that level, offering traders to either buy up here, average down, buy down here and hold for that bigger move, or just buy here, hold out, and look for a close here to bail on that trade. That's how we trade this strategy, which is, again, very simple. So hold above that line, we're good to go. Close below, we bail. It held above, it continued up, hit target, and guess what? It about hit that target 816 predetermined resistance that we had on this chart beforehand. So if I pull this up again, go to the Mark Charts channel in our Discord, you guys will see OCEA. If I scroll up to it, go ahead and click on this, hit open in browser, it will blow it up, and you guys will be able to see those levels. You can see that we had 596, 609, gap is a little cleaner there. A little cluster of resistance here up through 7, closed over 7, 721, nice gap to 790, and then 816. So we had all of these predetermined resistance levels before this move happened, which again is very important, guys. We want to make sure that we are aware of what could happen and how to trade those levels, because it's one thing to, of course, spot the levels. It's a whole nother thing being able to trade it in real time. So guys, again, very high quality setup here, high quality alerts on the teacher's pet scan this morning. We had a close over a predetermined resistance. We had that yellow candle, which means the breakout volume was there. During the regular market session, we're looking for those white candles if you have this indicator. If not, then of course you're just looking for increased volume. So held that level, continued up, never saw that major red until after market open, and by then I was already cashed out of my position and I took my 30%, and I'm done trading for the day. So very proud to say, guys, profit protection mode is on thanks to confirmation trading. If you guys want to learn more about the strategy that I have that we teach every day in our day trading room and our chat room, of course, in our Discord, but we also go over live sessions as well. So if you scroll all the way to the bottom of this guide here, you'll have live sessions, live video tutorials on how to find that support and resistance, as it's very particular on how we're doing that. And you'll have examples as well. You'll have plenty of examples here to understand what these major reds are that we're trying to avoid. So we have a lot of examples here, got a lot of details going over different setups. But if anyone is interested in this, please reach out. And I appreciate your time, guys. Thanks. Have a good day.